Good morning, friends. I am Sanjay Sakne, Principal of Arts, Science and Commerce College, Indapur. At the outset, let me thank Principal Dr. V.B. Gaikwad and Professor Gunjal from KTHM College and other friends who have organized this FDP for NSS. Today's my topic is developing leadership for future India. Here, I suppose I'm not expected to talk about NSS. Let me introduce myself in brief. As I mentioned, I'm Sanjay Sakne, working as a principal, but I worked a lot as NSS program coordinator. Before that, I was NSS program officer. I'm a recipient of state level and national level NSS awards, which is Priyadarshini Indira Gandhi National Award, which was given to me by Pranab Mukherjee, the then President of India. Of course, I have other experiences like working in disaster management. I was heading one of the institute as director disaster management cell. I worked as NSS program coordinator for more than 7 years in reputed university, Savitribai Phule Pune University, the then Pune University. I'm working as a principal for last 10 years and we are accredited with NAC. And of course, I have many awards. I'm a speaker, and of course, I do talk on different topics, especially on personality development of NSS volunteers. Then, of course, NSS, personality development of teachers, and my recent topic on which I do talk is research-based pedagogy tool, which is RBPT. I'm one of the trainer at national level in RBPT. So research-based pedagogy tool is something different, which is a new pedagogy in education. Instead of having teaching, we focus on learning process. So now let's go to topic. The topic is developing leadership for future India. So I have a presentation for you and I'll be showing this presentation. So I'll be in the inset at the corner and you can see the presentation simultaneously. So when I say developing leadership for future India, I would like to quote here Abdul Kalam because he only mentioned that the future India, the superpower, in 2020, I mean this year, he was expecting that it should be superpower. In my mind, it always comes that when he says that India will be superpower, it must be something in his mind because he was thinking that this is the youngest country all over world because we have maximum youngsters as compared to other countries, and this was one of the reason. Of course, there were some certain other things in his mind. So by quoting Abdul Kalam, rather by saluting Abdul Kalam, I'm introducing my topic. So when I say developing leadership, let us understand what is leadership. So leadership is explained by many people. I like Peter Drucker's definition of leadership, where he says leadership is shifting own vision to higher sides, the raising of man's performance to higher standards, the building of man's personality beyond its normal limitations. So leadership is not for common public, but it is for someone who do believe, who has vision towards upper side, higher side. That is what the picture is very self-explanatory. So what is leader? When we try to understand leadership, we should know leader also. So leader is the person who leads or commands a group, organization, or the country itself. Of course, when we say the person who leads, even let's start from our own house. In a house, there is always a leader. ऐसे हुआ करता था एक ज़माने में कि जो माँ होती थी वो लीड करती थी. अभी भी होता है कई जगह, लेकिन इट वॉज मातृसत्ताक leadership in our country especially. This is the reason it's from household to a group of people. Even we sit together, say 7 8 friends sit together, somebody leads because he wants to say and he wants to pursue his ideas. This is the reason I say that a person who leads or commands a group or organization or country, it is never happens that I have given a leadership and I am a good leader. No, it's not like that. So, a leader is someone who can see how things can be improved and who rallies people to move towards the better vision. So, leader is never alone. Leader is always in the community and he wants to take community from one place to the far and of course to the upper level. And this is the reason leader who thinks and can see that how he can improve qualities of his own people, he can rally the people. I mean, he should be the right marker. In military there is always a word right marker, because right marker, there is a commander, but commander may not be leader. The leader is who is at the right corner of a marching of the platoon. When the marching goes, the platoon follows right marker. The person who is at the right corner is called as a right marker. And this is the reason I said about rallies of a people. Leaders can work toward making their vision a reality while putting people first. So he has vision that एक कहावत ऐसी है कि जो लीडर अपने साथ काम करने वाले लोगों को आगे ले जाता है वो अच्छा लीडर है. एंड दिस द रीजन दैट विजन इज इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो बी अ लीडर. व्हेन आई से I want to become a leader, I should try to begin with praise and honest appreciation. I should appreciate people. So appreciating people means what? There is one diploma which I have completed from Cambridge University, which is a short term diploma, actually short course diploma. And that diploma, the name itself is appreciating beauty. Let us understand, we never appreciate people. Rather, we keep on gossiping. We always there to gossip. When we two are there, we think of the other guy who is absent in the group. And if the first guy is absent and the other two guys are there, they will talk about the guy who is absent. So likewise, so that gossiping goes on. And gossiping is never in good manner. We never praise people behind them. Even we don't praise them in front of them. So a good leader is one who appreciates beauty. So अच्छे को अच्छा तो बोलो यार, बुराई तो हम करते ही रहते हैं, लेकिन अच्छी चीज को अच्छा बोलना आजकल का जमाना नहीं रहा. इसीलिए appreciating beauty is one of the beautiful thing which I learned. So whenever someone comes to my office, I said, "Oh, you are looking good today." But he has not done his course, so he doesn't, I mean, he doesn't find it good. And he said, "Sir, has something gone wrong?" Because even we have not understanding the appreciation done by someone else. So there should be courage to understand appreciation. And hence the term here is praise someone honestly. The appreciation should be very honest. The second one is call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. But no, this will never happen. In we have habit to tell people not in front of them only, but in front of people, where we try to tell the mistakes of someone. But here, try to. It's difficult, I know, but try to call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. We can have direct methods, we obey direct methods, but here we can have indirect methods where we can tell people that you have gone wrong. Like if someone goes wrong, you tell them that he has done the work. A piece of paper he has brought in front of you. You tell him, "Oh, you have done nice work, but," and then tell, "Oh, you would have done this like this, or can we change like this?" Likewise. So your words matters. But no, what bad leaders do? They take the paper, they turn it, they throw in front of them, and it's very bad habit. So the third thing is talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. So, if I have gone wrong, I should say sorry. And if I appreciate my own mistakes, people will understand my honest things. My honesty will be understood by the people. So, this is again important. So, ask question instead of giving direct orders. I mean, for involving, when it's a group, to involve group, I should, instead of telling them what to do, I should, because everybody knows what to do. Problem is of implementation. We the Indians are very bad implementers. We plan very thoroughly. We have everything in mind. But when a matter of implementation comes, we are very bad because we have never gone through discussions. And this is the reason this question is very important, that question question something so that people will answer. Because as an individual, you may have only one answer. But if I am sitting in a group of say 20 people, I can have 20 plus ideas. And that is what it matters. When I have 20 plus ideas, I can have, instead of my idea, I may have a better idea of someone. And the problem of the solution I may not understood, because I may have my own limitations. But a bad leader always thinks that he is right. No. And that is the reason leaders should understood this, that question something so that you will get good answers instead of giving orders. Giving orders is like dictatorship. And good leaders are never dictators. I mean, the dictators are never good leaders. Let the other person save face. This is again important, because they should have their own face, which has a face value. This is the vision I'm talking about. It's not a face directly. I'm saying the meaning of a question which I raised. It must have some answer. So he must have some say of the problem. When he has some say and we allow them to say something, so the problem, he will take the problem with his own, and he will feel that, oh, this is my problem. It's not leader's problem, or it's not institutional problem. So this is the thing. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. So even we should praise, we should have attention. Even a slight change, rather the improvement, we should praise it. And of course, every improvement we have to praise. Sometimes what happens, because he knows very good typing, I never appreciate. But if even my peons, if he gives me glass of water, I should say thank you. But we feel that he's paid for it. It's not like that. So to getting work done is not that easy, what we feel. And this is the reason praising someone is important. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. So if someone goes wrong, let him give another chance so he can improve himself. Use encouragement. Encourage something. If someone goes wrong, okay, he should not be hanged every time. And who we are to hang someone. So encouraging is one of the big thing, and we should encourage people so that they can improve. If someone says that there is, of course, there is habit of people. There are many people who has habit, that they always say, no, I can't do this work. But to improve, we should tell them, especially in case of students group. When in NSS we go, there are people who will always say, oh, I cannot make cooking. Or some of them will say, I cannot do physical work in the morning time. Or someone say, I cannot do my comparing. So likewise, we should encourage them that, oh, if your friend can do, you can always do. Of course, the encouragement can be in better words, as NSS program officers are well versed with encouragement, and they know how to encourage. This is the reason NSS is going for last 50 years, and this is due to a better encouragement. Make the other person happy about doing the things you suggest. So when I'm saying something, somebody should not become unhappy. Because what happens, if I tell something and he feels that this is not my job, then he becomes unhappy. So I should tell in such a way that he becomes happy, and my job, getting work done, will be over. Then, of course, people first and self last. This is very important, and which we people always forget. So let people do it first. So sometimes we do. If I can do, you should do it, and this way that dictatorship comes in picture. So this is what leaders should try. It's not 100%. I know 100% will never exist. Ideality never exists, but we can tend towards ideality. We can go towards near to ideality. So this is something like potential for excellence, going towards excellence. Excellence is never the thing. Means in NAC we all have experienced that if I have 500 computers, the NAC peer team will say you must have 1,000 computers. I have done everything. They will say at the last, after 50 years, they will say that, oh, your student has not gone to moon. So this excellence is never ending. So excellence is always at higher side. And this is the reason I said that potential for excellence. So every person has a potential, and that potential should be encouraged. So leadership. The action of leading a group of people or an organization is leadership. So leadership is not something that's sitting idle in somewhere, some corner, in an office. No, it's not a leadership. Leadership is, so it is an action of a leading group. So someone has to take action. A leader always takes action. He is never sitting idle. The state or position of being a leader, that is leadership. So if I'm sitting in a chair as a principal, I should understand that I'm sitting in a chair. So I'm sitting in a position. I have some status. So that state or that position is of a leader is leadership. Just a moment. So leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal. So each institute, each community, each house, so whatever we are leading should have, rather everything has a common goal. So in a group, when I'm talking about NSS group of 100 students. So if I have 100 students, so we have our own goal. If I go to camp with 100 students, so some goal is there. And that goal, it should not be in my mind only. Goal should be of group of people. So every person, rather, every stakeholder of the group should understand that what is our goal, what for we are here. And that should be, it should be done with in a particular fashion. I always call it as a cooperative learning. Cooperative learning means we bring them together, ask them, give them some task, give piece of paper, ask them to jot down something, so that people will understand that what are our goals. It should not be that, oh, this is our goal. Instead of telling them, if I tell them that we want to clean this village, the thing is very simple. Instead of doing this, we should tell them, we should give them the task that why, there should be some analogy. And that context of analogy is important. When I say context, that let them sit together in a village. I'm talking about NSS, very specific example I'm trying to give. So when I say that these students, 10 in a group, and there are 10 groups of 100 students, so they are sitting together, and I'm giving them a task, rather the context, that why there are villagers who are getting ill. The illness is very high in this village. And so that they will try to understand that why the illness is there, what are the, why people are getting ill, what are different diseases they are getting ill. So this way they will jot down the things, and ultimately they will say, every group will come to one platform, and they will say this has happened because the village is not clean. And then we will ask them, what should we do? Then student will say, the group of students will say that we should clean the campus, we should clean the village, we should clean each and every part of the village. And so that this is not my problem now, this is problem of those students who are going for the camping. So this way leadership matters a lot. I hope you understand. Of course, I am giving very simple example. Everyone of you NSS program officer is always a leader, and this is the reason I should not go. I'm trying to give the technical terms we should understand. So motivating group of people to act toward achieving common goal, and it should come within. This is what I tried to explain. So leadership is defined by Ronald Reagan. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. If I'm doing something great, I got patent, which is a great thing for me, but for people it's not great thing. So I may not be great leader. He is that gets the people to do the greatest thing. But when I'll become leader, if I allow my teachers to file patents, then I should say that I'm a leader. So when I'm saying that I have filed 8 patents with my teacher friends, so I may be a good leader. That is what leadership is. So now, what is leadership? Role of leader in various groups. As I mentioned, that in a family there should be some goal, then in a group there should be I have some role, as a in a community I have some role, and in a society I have some role. What happens unfortunately, political leaders, we keep on telling that they are good leaders, but here that leadership is not what I am expecting. Rather, we should not expect that. So leader is everywhere. Means when two people are going together, one is leading, that is a leader. So we should understand these things very firmly. So what are the factors of leadership? So factors of leadership. So first thing is, so one thing is leader. Second thing is there should be follower. I should not say I am leader of my own. Of course, in some sense, it is true, but not every time. I should have some follower. Means in a family, there should be family. So 2-3 people are there, or in a community. When I say community, when I say NSS community, there should be NSS people. So program officer himself or herself is a leader when that students community is in front of him or her. So there are followers. When at university level, the program coordinator, or at area level, there are area coordinators. At district level, there are district coordinators, and at university level, there is a program coordinator. At state level, there is state liaison officer. That is what the hierarchy of NSS is, and so everyone has follower. So in Maharashtra, there are almost 2.5 lakh students, 4.5 lakh students of working in NSS, and so many followers you have. The other thing is communication. I should have very good communication. I should have the communication in such a language that my group understands. If my group doesn't understand English or Hindi and I'm talking to them in English, so they will say, they will feel like, feel towards me like a moron to me. They will feel moron as I have come from some other planet, as it will be something different for them. So my communication should be in a simple language. If I'm sitting with them, I should not sit in chair. Rather, if everyone is sitting on satranji, I should sit there with them. So dari ke saath mujhe baithna hai. So communication should be very strong, and it should be, I always say, ye hrudayiche te hrudayi pochले पाहिजे. It should go from this heart to their heart. So that is what communication is, and communication should be very strong. Situation matters in leadership. So what role you have to play in a particular situation matters a lot. For example, if there is some disaster and you are going around and the situation is very bad, if you are a true leader, you will always stop there, not like a watcher, but you will lead that situation. If someone is falling down, you should take him to your car or whatever, and you should help. So this thing is very simple. The situation is very simple, but your decision matters a lot. Of course, in disaster management, decision is important. Of course, the leader is one who takes decision in situation. So situational leadership is again important. So now there are types of leadership and the styles. Coaching is leadership. Coaching is what? Leadership is focused around developing subordinates. For example, someone is coaching, someone is a coach. The best example in India is Guru Achrekar. Guru Achrekar was guru of Sachin Tendulkar, and we could get Sachin and of course Kambli. They were coaches. I mean, he was coach to many students, but he could make Sachin as Sachin. So coaching is something different, but it is leadership. But that leadership is focused leadership. It's not like for the community, or it is for the community of a particular field. Maybe not only sports. It can be. I can say I'm a coach of a person who wants to do competitive examination. So I'm a coach in that case. So another leadership type is visionary. Leader Leaders have a vision of where a company or organization should be. So I should have vision. Without vision, I cannot lead that company. Without vision, I cannot take my NSS student to top. I cannot take my college as a principal of the college. If I'm not visionary, that organization will be idle. It will be there only. See, things will be running, but if you want to take it up in what sense? When I say take it up, means take it at higher level, I say about quality. When I say about quality, quality will come when visionary is there. Because quality, of course, is not to be defined, but quality is to be experienced. When I go to a cloth shop, I test the cloth, and that cloth, the texture of the cloth itself is a quality, and that quality is to be experienced and not to be defined. So visionary, as I explained. There are leaders whose type is servant. Leaders believe in people first. So the people are there. This is the reason you are there. You are there means people are there is wrong. And this is again another type of leadership. There are two important points: autocratic and bureaucratic. So autocratic is the boss or manager makes all the decisions. So means this is good or bad is different. But this is a type of leadership. This is the reason we should understand, which is autocratic. Then another is laissez-faire, is hands-off style of a leadership. Means my hands are off. You have to work. You have to work. I will not work. So that is another style. And bureaucratic is leadership is a rules-based leadership on leadership style. So that is bureaucratic way. Again, bureaucratic way, whether it is good or bad, we should not discuss here, but we should remember the words. So types of leadership styles. This is continued. So another style is democratic. So democratic is leadership is a form of leadership where decision making is shared with members of a group. So in a democratic way, when I say democratic, the decision is taken by all the group. But whatever is there, I am there as a leader to pursue the decision which is taken by the group. So now, pace setter. So pace setter is the leader set very high goals and standards to get things done better and faster. Because the low aim is crime. That is what we keep on saying. So when I say the goals are high, I know that each one cannot go to Everest. But at least what is harm in keeping goal high? So at least we can tell everyone that yes, we want to go to Everest. At least some people will go to base camp. Some of them will go to first level camp. Some of them will go to second level camp. And few of them, 2 or 3, will reach the Everest. So there should be that kind of a leadership. So I should have high goals. As a leader, I am saying, when I say I should, means leadership. Transformational leadership. This is very important point. When I say transformational, leadership is a style in which the leader inspires and motivates employees to produce a change in the organization. Because instead of saying I feeling, there should be we feeling. When we say it is we feeling, if I could develop we feeling in them, then people can go up. they will feel that this is my organization. They will not feel that I'm working as a servant. They will always feel that, oh, my boss is doing for me. When that transformation comes, so whatever ideas which I have in my mind, I should inculcate those ideas in my followers, rather in my, I should not say employed to them, they are followers as a leader to me. So that is what transformational things are. The next is transactional leadership. So transactional leadership means leadership is a style in which punishments and incentives are used to motivate employees. Of course, at college level, or even at in military, or even at NSS camps, we punish some of the students, volunteers rather, and we give incentives to them by giving them some prizes or some books or some to motivate them. We keep bat on their back, likewise, so a pat on their back. So this way we give incentives to them, and we keep them motivating. But there are some nuts which we cannot break. These unbreaked nuts are to be punished, of course, and this is the reason. But in true leadership, that may not come. But there are people whom we cannot change, and to change them we have to punish. So that is what transactional leadership is. So now, how to develop this? So developing leadership is next topic. So developing leadership is, traditionally, leadership development has focused on developing the leadership abilities and attitudes of individuals. So, leadership development is, everybody cannot be leader, but in that particular situation, that particular person who has expertise in that field can be the leader. For example, if I'm doing a tree plantation, that I may not be good in digging pot for the tree, but someone is there. So I should take his expertise. I should tell him that, oh, you are the great experienced person, and you have that zeal to work. You have that enthusiasm to put the, I mean, you can have digging that pot. So he can do it, and it will be better than anybody else. So that way, that leadership will be there, and I can focus it individually. So of course, each person, each individual has grown with his or her environment, and that environment matters, and due to which the leadership also matters. So leadership development expands the capacity of individuals to perform in leadership roles within organization. Just a moment, please. Thank you. So leadership development expands the capacity of individuals to perform in leadership roles within organization. Leadership development refers to any activity that enhances the capability of an individual to assume leadership roles and responsibilities. This is again very important, because each individual, when takes something that, and it gets enhanced, I mean, the individual gets enhanced, or the quality of organization itself gets enhanced, then we should say that he or she has that leadership quality. So skills of developing leadership. So as I mentioned earlier also, this is again important, that effective communication. I should have very effective communication. Whatever I am talking, I should be audible to them. I should reach to them. I should reach to their heart. I should reach to their mind. Whatever I am talking, they should understand. They should feel that whatever I am talking to them, it is their own thing. So that is what effective communication is. Analytical observations. I should have my observations. As a teacher, when I'm teaching in a class, I should observe something, that a guy is playing something, or he is doing he is misbehaving. So that kind of observation I should have, and I should take quick actions around it. Creative thinking, this is very important. For true leader, creative thinking is important, because people gets bored due to same activity. So we should have, of course, change of activity is a rest. I always keep on saying that if someone is doing typing and typing, So he gets bored after some time, or he gets tired also. His hands get hands starts aching, and to avoid that, there should be some change of work, and change of work is creativity for that particular guy. Or if I'm doing something, I should be creative. Even a small thing can be creative. Or if there is some creative thing, I should appreciate that. So appreciation matters a lot. Of course, that is it should be in a creative manner also. So one can have creative mind. So जिसे सृजनात्मकता कहते हैं, that creativity should be there. Things are same. Achieving goal is same. Vision is decided. Mission may be different. Mission can be in a different direction. Vision is towards the goal, at the goal, but mission is with different direction, and that can be creative. Emotional intelligence is important. I should understand somebody's emotion, because something may happen to him, and I should understand his emotion. I should take him from that particular emotion, because somebody must have hurted him, and he is very emotional. So I should take those emotions and take it very positively and take him to the work task force which I am assigning to him. So emotional intelligence is again very important. Team collaboration, hand in hand, harmony of a institute or a company or a college or a group. When I say NSS, there should be team collaboration, because what happens is there should be team spirit, there should be sportive competition also, but it should not be only competition, it should be healthy competition. To have team collaboration, these kind of things are again important. As I earlier mentioned, it is decision making which plays vital role in leadership. So decision making is, when I say decision making, it may be a little late, but I should take decision. Taking no decisions is always very bad. So I should take decision. Maybe wrong after some time, but let us take decision. Start working on it, and this way, decision making is one of the great skill of a leader. So there are 7 principles of leadership development. So we have seen till now about what is leadership, and now we are talking about leadership principles. Leadership development. So first thing is skilled knowledge. When I say I am a leader, I should have knowledge. I should have information. But alone information is not good. If I am applying information, then it converts into knowledge. And of course, when I am creating knowledge, creation of knowledge is a research. So let us understand these 3 words which are very important. When I say data collection is information, application of this information, I know I have gathered information that how I can drive plane, but that information is not sufficient. Until I sit in a driver's seat in a plane and I start driving, then only I understand, oh, it is something difficult, because practical knowledge is always different than theoretical knowledge, and matching them together is something knowledge. So matching theory and practical is something skilled knowledge, I should say. So selection for leadership. So selection is very important. I should be very selective. Leaders as mentors. So this is again leadership development. As a mentor, I should mentor people. I should take them far. I should take them high. That is what mentorship is. I should be. Krishna is the best mentor when we talk about Bhagavad Gita in Mahabharata. So that is what mentorship is. Education of leadership. I should be trained. Leaders are not born. Leaders are never born. Leaders are always developed, and they are getting education. They are educated. This is the reason the education of leadership is another principle of leadership quality, leadership development rather. Strategy for leadership development is again important. I should not go haphazardly. It should not be in a zigzag fashion. It should be a very focused strategy. I should know my goals. I should know my vision. And of course, mission can be very properly enhanced. And this is the way strategy can go. So integrate executive leadership and coaching. As already discussed this, the chance to lead. Everyone will not get the chance. Chance will be taken. Chance is always taken. Who takes the chance becomes the leader. And this is again one of the best principle of leadership development. So actually, leadership development plan goes, it's a wheel of leadership development plan. So what is leadership development plan is, so I should know what are the strengths, what are my strengths. When we talk about the institute, what are our strengths? When we do SOC analysis, we always talk about strengths, and we talk about weaknesses, and then we talk about challenges, and we talk about opportunities. But here, what are the strengths? Strengths of a leader I'm talking about. Area for improvement. So I know, when I know my strengths, I should know my weaknesses. I should know my challenges. So when I understand this SOC analysis, and then I know the rooms for improvement. So when I understand the room where the area of improvement is understood, I can improve myself. If I am ready to improve myself, I can lead the group. I can lead my followers also. Accordingly, I can plan the things. So what is action plan? I know the strength, I know the weaknesses, I know the improvement area, and I can make the plan. So it's a, when I say action plan, I talk about implementation plan. So that is what implementation is. When I have an action plan, it should not be ivory tower kind of a thing. If something is cooked at ivory tower, it should not be brought to bottom level. It is never brought. So it should be cooked at bottom level, and it should be served at bottom level only. And that is what implementation is. We are, as I mentioned, we are very bad implementers, and this is the reason implementation is very important. So evaluation of progress. So when I have planned something, I have implemented something, I should know, I should keep record of evaluation of progress. So how I'm progressing, whether I'm progressing or I'm going down, that is to be understood. This will happen only when I have some documentation. The good leaders have very good documenters. We the Indians, are again very bad in documentation. we दस्तावेजीकरण करने में हम लोग बहुत कम गिरते हैं. इसीलिए what is expected is you should have very good documentation. And documentation, it should not be only papers, keeping papers together. It is documentation in a proper fashion, and then there will be interest in getting evaluated. When you start evaluating, you will understand that you have not understood your strengths, you have not understood your weaknesses, you have not planned it properly. Even you have planned very properly, you have not implemented it accordingly. And this is the reason evaluation of progress is very important. So the next is, so now again we'll come back to our own topic. Leadership matter in pathetic situations. Nowadays our situation is very bad. So what is epidemic, what is pandemic, what is outbreak, and changing world scenario? So these are the four terms which are important. We should know, we should not forget to understand epidemic and pandemic. So what is difference between them? So what is pandemic and what is epidemic? An epidemic is a disease that affects a large number of people within a community or population of or a region. So there can be a particular disease which can be sprayed, which is sprayed in a large number of people in a group or in a village. That is epidemic. But pandemic is something which is spread over multiple talukas or multiple countries or multiple districts or multiple continents also, which is the situation nowadays. So epidemic and pandemic. So epidemic is an outbreak of disease that if affects many in a population and begins to spread rapidly. Whereas pandemic is a larger epidemic. It's an epidemic only, but it is at larger side. A pandemic covers several countries or spreads from one continent to another continent, right from Australia to Asia to the Middle East to America and to Russia and whatnot. So an outbreak of disease is considered an epidemic if it affects a certain number of people within a short period of time, typically within 2 weeks. But now pandemic, not in 2 weeks, almost 4 months we are suffering. In pandemic outbreaks, the number of people affected or killed doesn't matter as much as rate of spread and how far it has spread. So let us please understand what is the epidemic and pandemic. Of course, this pandemic situation is not new to India, because in 1817, when Britishers started ruling in Pune, especially in Maharashtra. That time there was a cholera pandemic. It was epidemic initially, then it started spreading. It spread like anything. Second cholera pandemic was in 1829. The third cholera pandemic was in 1852. The fourth cholera pandemic was in 1863. The fifth cholera pandemic was in 1881. And then we have a new era of plague epidemic. It was first in 1896. It was for long time till again in the cholera pandemic started in 1899, which was sixth pandemic. This Bombay plague epidemic started and it was spread all over India. It was even in Pune. Pune was a sufferer of pandemic. It was Lord Curzon during those days who was governing Mumbai presidency. Then Swedish blue influenza pandemic was there in 1918, 1989, 1999 was Jallianwala Bagh. We know that particular situation. 1920 was Lokmanya Tilak's death occurred. So I'm just trying to analyze the things. Chikungunya outbreak was there in 2006. Then dengue outbreak was there in 2006. H1N1 flu pandemic was there in 2009. Again, 2018 was Nipah outbreak from Kerala, which came from the bats. Then in 2020, we are suffering from COVID-19. It started in December 19, so we call it as COVID-19. So what should do? We know the history. So need of positive attitude. We should not be positive with corona, but we should have positive attitude in leadership. So what needs of a positive attitude for? Positive attitude for happiness. We should be happy. Because in pathetic situation, we always get nervous. We get breakdown. So to avoid that, we should be happy. We should be positive minded people. We should motivate others and we should motivate our own self. Self-esteem should be there. I should have my self-esteem. I should know what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Better health. I should have my health to be very proper because the immunity matters nowadays. So my immunity should be very strong. Improved relations, because nowadays if someone is positive, people are hating him. Instead of hating, we should have social impact of this. We should understand and we should have relations. We should not forget relations. So that is again important. I was mentioning about good leaders and bad leaders. So who are good leaders? Good leaders are honest and they are innovative. They have self-confidence. They are decision makers. They have capabilities and accountability also. Because if I am doing something, I am accountable for something. Then delegation and empowerment is again important. Whereas the bad leaders are lack of adaptability. There are people who don't adapt the technology, especially not only technology, everything. They don't. They are very orthodox people. So if someone is there and he says that I'm a very good teacher, but in a classroom, and now I cannot adopt technology and I cannot go for online teaching, but the situation is so that I have to go for online teaching. So I should not, rather I should adapt the things. So bad leaders don't adapt the things. They have lack of transparency. There are people who keep on hiding the things. So lack of transparency among them is one of the quality of a bad leader. Poor communication. They are very bad communicators. They don't have communication skills. They have inconsistency also. They are never consistent. If something is tell to them, they will say yes and they start the things very enthusiastically. But after 2-3 days, if we ask them what happened to it, he said, oh, I forgot. And this is the reason. The consistency matters a lot in leadership. Lack of empathy and playing the blame game. They are always blamers, blaming others. They keep on blaming. So everything happens, they will blame others. Whatever, they will blame everything to others. They will never take responsibility on their own shoulders. So these are bad leaders. So as I mentioned earlier, our great leader, APJ Abdul Kalam, he says, my 2020 vision for India is to transform it into a developed nation that cannot be abstract. It is a lifeline. And I'm hoping that this future India very near, we will be leader of other countries. Rather, we, the Indians, should be proud that in 2020, rather at the end of 2020, we will have a very good economy. This economy will come with different things. How to rise Indian economy through leadership, channelizing youth. Channelizing youth, when I'm saying, I'm talking about NSS volunteers. So channelizing, because we have almost 30 lakh NSS volunteers in Pan India. The whole Pan India is covered with 30 lakh volunteers. I do remember that I was delivering a talk in one of the small group of UNO in Geneva, UNO. It was a small organization of it was UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. I was talking to them and I told them we are channelizing youth for disaster management, and we have so many lakh students with us. Of course, I told them in thousands, but he said, one of the guy was almost 92, and the scientist asked me, if you have so many lakh volunteers, why you have not become superpower? Because this has happened. I answered it. I tried to answer him. That my answer was, we have volunteers, but unfortunately, our volunteers have not understood volunteerism. Volunteerism is something different. And this is the reason we have to channelize our youth in a particular fashion. When we talk about channelizing youth, we should talk about Swadeshi. Our Prime Minister, who is a great leader, Honorable Narendra Ji Modi, he is talking about Swadeshi. He has given one term, very enthusiastic term, which is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Actually, this is to be referred back to Gandhiji's idea of Nai Talim. When I say Nai Talim, Gandhiji has given that development of a Panchakroshi. Panchakroshi is when there are 4 or 5 villages together. This can be termed as Panchakroshi. So that Panchakroshi, everything should be there. Nothing is to be brought from outside, and nothing is to be given outside till my thirst is over. If I am thirsty and I am giving milk to outside, so it is not Atmanirbhar. So we should understand what is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Make in India. Again, there was a vision about Make in India. So we should ban China. China is against us. We should ban the things which are coming from outside. So we should have things which are made in India. So skill-based education is one of the factor which is now very important, because we are talking about arts and science and commerce, these particular streams. When we talk about them, we are lacking behind in skill-based education. So now, of course, we have started our BHO courses, the vocational courses and skill-based courses. So we have to focus on skill-based education. Need of research in core areas. Unfortunately, we are very bad in researching. And this is the reason I mentioned about research-based pedagogy tool. So even a 5th standards guy can have research. But in our mind, research is something like doing PhD or MPhil, and that too for sake of getting degree. But here, when I say about need of research in core area, actually the biological research or the medical research or medicinal research or the life sciences research is very important nowadays. When we consider the fact about the corona or COVID-19, then we have to focus on basic researches. Basic researches we have not given that importance which should be given. So group farming. So another important thing is group farming. We should focus like Israel. Israel is one of the country where kibbutz idea is been inculcated. Kibbutz itself is a Hebrew word, and they say that bringing together is farming. I mean, it's a group farming, and they do farming together. So even 5,000 of hectares of land can be brought together with 10 or 15 farmers. Here we are there to make divisions and not bringing together. So we should bring people together. So agriculture and agro-allied products are important. Nowadays, I'm very happy that even the educational the students who are brought back to their villages, back to village was Gandhiji's idea. In 1932, he has given that Nai Talim to us. In Nai Talim only he mentioned about back to village, go back to village. And that is what has happened now. The Mumbaikars, then the Punekars, rather the city people has come back to their own villages, and they are trying to do something. I could see many students who are doing farming, and so we should focus these students, and they can earn money out of farming, because farming is never bad. It should be focused activity rather. So agriculture and agro-allied products will give future India, because that is the future of India. Agro-allied industries are industries which depends on agriculture for their raw materials, so as to operate successfully in the production of finished goods that are useful to animals and humans. So food and beverages, then paper and wood products, textiles, footwear and apparel, then rubber product, whatnot. In group farming is a form of day-to-day agriculture production based on cooperation between several partners. It should not be only one family. There can be 10 families together. I know one of the example at Ankoli. Ankoli is near Solapur, where Professor Deshpande, Arun Deshpande lives, and he has brought people together, almost 100 farmers together, and they are doing this group farming, which is one of the ideal example. Of course, we have many examples. We have Ralegan Siddhi as the best example by Anna Hazare, which has given to us. Popatrao Pawar's Hivre Bazar is another example. So by sharing land, what is group farming? By sharing land, by sharing labors, by sharing capital, by sharing farm management responsibilities, farmers boost their capacity to invest, innovative, negotiate, or free farming members from agriculture work. In Maharashtra, we have a tradition of Irjik. Irjik is one of the word where people, these Adivasi people call halma to it. Halma is bringing people together, and the needy person, a needy and poor person, can be brought from his own issues, and that issue can be solved. That is what the Irjik is. So another issue is of entrepreneurship. We, the Maharashtrians especially, are bad entrepreneurs. So we should focus on small businesses. So the activity of setting up a business or business taking businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Of course, this can be done with startups. Now we have many startups. We can have our own Section 8 companies, small businesses, scalable startups can be done. Then the large companies can be brought on the not only on the paper, but in the reality. Then social entrepreneurs can be there. So the important thing is why NSS is important in developing leadership, because as I mentioned, I'm proud NSS person. Once NSS is always NSS is my motto. So NSS plays a vital role in this country. Since 1969, for last 50 years, NSS has done tremendous work, and it is continued. It's not only they have done till 50 years, they are continuing. So they are very good at social awareness. They have tendency to do hard work, because when they go for camping for 7 days, they do a lot of hard work, and where they understand dignity of labor. So awareness about social burning issues. They are well aware of what is happening. Even now, NSS students in Pan India, they are doing a fantastic job. They have prepared masks, then they have prepared sanitizer. They made aware about the Setu app, Arogya Setu app to people. They surveyed many people and whatnot. They did a lot. Rising of economy is very important. Then changes in economy is also important, and this should be brought. Once I was in Germany, and there in Göttingen University, and once I asked one of the students that what is the difference between Indian education and German education, Germany education. He has given, it was an eye-opening remark from that student. He was Indian. He said me that even you want to pursue your PhD in physics, economics and history of Germany, these two subjects are compulsory to you, even at PG level or even at UG level, undergraduate level. I said, why? He said, once you have, if you are not understanding economy of your own country, you will never improve. And if you have not understood history of your own country, what is going to happen? So we, the Indians, have great history. This land itself is a history, land of history. And of course, ours was the economy which was boosted economy, but somehow has brought back. Now we are thinking of trillion economics. That is what the future India is. So with this point, as I mentioned that we talked about we talked about leadership, we talked about principles of leadership, we talked about types of leadership, then we talked about future India, we talked about NSS, what is role of NSS, and we talked about the rising economy. So with this, I again thank Principal Dr. V.B. Gaikwad, Principal of KTHM College. I thank Professor Gunjal and other friends. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience hearing. Thank you.